A beginner shoulder mobility routine uses slow, gentle movements to improve how your shoulder feel and move. Instead of pushing hard, the focus is on control, comfort, and gradually increasing range of motion. It can also be used as an effective warm-up before other workouts. This type of training helps reduce stiffness, improve posture, and prevent injuries by keeping the joints and muscles working smoothly. It also builds body awareness and can make everyday movements feel easier and more relaxed. Let's start moving. Let's move to the wall. Place both hands in a straight line with the shoulders. Keep the arms extended, and then we're going to make scapula push-ups on the wall. So we try to make big circles in this case, the biggest as we can. From forward, upwards, backwards, downwards, and repeat. Try to put a little bit of body weight on the arms. And again, the most important is to keep the arms extended so everything comes from the shoulders. Switch direction. So now from down, backwards, up, forward, and repeat. And try to make fluid circles out of it. Now make it a little bit harder by doing the same thing with one arm. Switch direction. And let's do the same thing with the other arm as well to balance things out. Let's move to the next exercise, which are the wall butterflies. So you come with your back standing towards the wall, and then you try to come in a low squat position. And you open up your arms and try to make movements like a butterfly. So you open up all the way to overhead, and you keep your arms in a 90-degree angle until they touch each other. And then you come back until your elbows are reaching your waist in a 90-degree angle as well. Then we're going to control it articulation rotations of the shoulders in a standing position. So put your feet on shoulder wide, a little bit through the knees, chest up front, shoulders in a neutral position. And then try to make the biggest circles as possible with your arms. You try to push through the barriers of the circle. So you really have to find the biggest range of motion, and when you find that, you have to push just a bit through until you feel that you have to squeeze in it. Once you squeeze with your arms and your shoulders, then you know that you do enough work. If not, try to keep searching for that effect. And keep squeezing through the circles. As you see overhead, there has to be a point where you have to turn your arms and your hands so you can continue the circle. Then we go to a sitting position on the knees, toes flat on the floor. Try to sit as deep on the heels as possible. Then the hands are coming from the lower back, laterally upwards, and then you try to get your hands behind your head. And then you try to make the way back where you came from. So with the lower back, you let the hands rest for a little moment, and when you come up in the middle, there's also a moment that your arms and hands have to turn in order to be able to continue the exercise. Same thing as with the previous one, try to squeeze through the ranges of motion. If not, you're not working hard enough. Then again, coming back to a sitting position on the knees. And then we're going to continue with external rotation, whereby we try to keep the elbows as close to the waist as possible, and just the underarms are bowed for about 90 degrees. And then you try to push them as much as you can to the back. And then you come back to the neutral position, and then we make repetitions out of it. Also, we try to do that with internal rotation, whereby we have the arms abducted a bit higher. So you raise the arms to the sides, and you try to make another 90-degree angle with the elbows. And in this case, the focus is on pushing the underarms downwards as much as possible, and even with an intention backwards. So you push down and backwards, and then release. And then we try to make repetitions out of that as well. Thank you for following along this beginner soft shoulder mobility routine. See you in the next class. And for online courses, one-on-one coaching and workshops, have a look at stanstitch.com and make sure to follow me on all the social media platforms.